There's a certain kind of woman most men don't see coming. She doesn't destroy you with drama. She doesn't leave obvious red flags. She slips into your life quietly, charming, seductive, even innocent. And by the time you realize what she is, it's too late. You've lost time. You've lost energy. You've lost yourself. Once you know about this woman, the emotionally dangerous woman, there is no going back. Because now you can't unsee the signs. You can't ignore the cost. You have a choice. Keep falling for the same trap, or wake up and level up. There are women out there who don't truly want love, partnership, or connection. They want control. They crave the feeling of being in charge of your emotions. They aren't looking for someone to grow with. They're looking for someone to manage. And the way they do it is subtle. She might not raise her voice or act aggressive. In fact, she'll often seem sweet, gentle, even nurturing at first. But underneath that calm surface is a need for power over you. It starts small. She tests how quickly you respond to her messages. She notices how much you're willing to cancel plans just to see her. She watches how often you seek her approval. And once she knows you're invested, she slowly shifts the dynamic. She gives less effort, less attention, but expects more from you. Suddenly you're trying harder and harder while getting less and less in return. You're chasing her validation like a drug, because now it's about earning her approval, not building a connection. You think it's love, but it's not. It's manipulation. It's a carefully crafted game where she stays in control by keeping you off balance. She may compliment you one day, ignore you the next. She may open up emotionally, then shut you out without explanation. Every move she makes is designed to make you question your worth, your role, your place in her life. If you're not aware of this pattern, you'll lose yourself trying to win her over. But the truth is, she doesn't want to be won. She wants to own the power in the relationship. And until you recognize that, you'll stay stuck in a cycle where you think you're fighting for love, when you're really just surrendering control. When you're not fully grounded in yourself, insecurity becomes a vulnerable spot that certain women can exploit, often without you even realizing it. She doesn't have to attack you directly or be overtly cruel. She simply plays on the doubts you already carry inside. Maybe you question your worth, your masculinity, or whether you're enough. These internal cracks become her playground. She will say things, sometimes subtle, sometimes more obvious, that make you second-guess yourself. She might dismiss your achievements, tease your insecurities, or imply you need to change to be more like someone else. Over time, these little digs chip away at your confidence. You start to feel like you're never quite measuring up, no matter how hard you try. The more you internalize this, the more she gains control. Your insecurity fuels her power. You begin to seek her approval, not because you want to, but because you feel you have to. You apologize for things that aren't your fault. You shrink parts of yourself just to avoid conflict. You accept treatment you wouldn't tolerate from anyone else, all because you doubt your own value. This dynamic creates a cycle. The more insecure you feel, the more she controls you. The more she controls you, the deeper your insecurities grow. If you don't break free from this pattern, you risk losing your identity and self-respect. The antidote is building a strong foundation inside yourself. Knowing your worth, embracing your strengths, and owning your masculinity without apology. When you're solid in who you are, her attempts to manipulate your insecurities lose their power. You become immune to the subtle mind games because you no longer rely on her validation to feel good about yourself. In the end, your greatest defense against this kind of woman is being an unshakable man who stands firm in his self-worth. That's where real power lives. Her attention is not a gift freely given. It's a tool she uses to shape your behavior. At first, her interest might feel like a blessing, a compliment here, a smile there, a message that makes your day. But soon, you begin to notice a pattern. She gives you just enough attention to keep you hooked, then pulls away before you can get too comfortable. This push and pull dynamic isn't accidental. It's deliberate. Every time she offers you a moment of warmth or approval, it acts like a reward. Your brain lights up, craving more. But when she withdraws that attention, you experience discomfort, even pain. This cycle trains you like a dog waiting for a treat. You become conditioned to seek her approval, chasing after the next compliment, or sign of affection, no matter how inconsistent or scarce. This kind of behavior is not love. True love is steady, respectful, and nurturing. It doesn't keep you guessing or leave you doubting your worth. Real affection supports your growth and confidence, rather than weaponizing your need for connection. When someone truly cares, their attention isn't something you have to fight for. It's something they freely give because they value you. Understanding this is crucial. If you find yourself constantly on edge, wondering when she'll reach out next, or if she's going to disappear, you're caught in a manipulation cycle. Her attention is not a reflection of your value, but a strategy to keep control. You deserve to be with someone whose focus on you is consistent and genuine, not conditional or fleeting. Recognizing this pattern allows you to break free. You stop placing your self-worth in her hands and begin to demand respect and stability instead. You realize that attention should never feel like a game, but rather a mutual exchange built on trust and care. When she chooses to be with you, it might feel like you've won something special. You give her your time, your energy, your loyalty, and you expect the same in return. But with this kind of woman, the balance is always skewed. She demands more from you while giving less herself. It's a one-sided exchange where your efforts multiply, but her contributions barely register. You find yourself constantly bending over backwards, trying to meet her needs, adjusting your schedule, sacrificing your own comfort, and always hoping for a little appreciation. But instead of gratitude, you get excuses. She's tired, she's stressed, or she's just not feeling it. She asks for patience and understanding, but doesn't extend the same to you. The more you give, the more she raises the bar, expecting even greater effort without acknowledging what you've already done. This creates a dangerous cycle. You become a provider of energy and attention, while she becomes a taker, withholding affection, respect, or even basic kindness. Her expectations feel endless, but her investment stays minimal. You start to wonder if it's ever enough, if you're ever truly seen or valued. The truth is, this dynamic erodes your self-worth. It teaches you to accept less than you deserve. You convince yourself that if you just try harder, love harder, be better, things will change. But they don't. Because she isn't looking for a partner, she's looking for someone to fill her needs without offering much in return. At some point, you have to recognize that this pattern isn't love, it's exploitation. Real relationships are built on mutual respect, effort, and care. If you're the only one giving, you're not in a partnership. You're in a one-way street. Knowing this lets you reclaim your power and decide whether it's time to stop giving to someone who won't give back. She has a way of pulling you in that feels almost addictive. It's not just about attraction or chemistry. It's about the emotional highs and lows she creates. One moment, she's the center of your world, making you feel alive and desired. The next, she disappears or pulls away, leaving you desperate for more. This roller coaster of emotions can be intoxicating, but it's important to understand that what you're caught up in is addiction, not value. Addiction clouds your judgment. It makes you overlook red flags and excuse behavior you wouldn't tolerate from anyone else. You tell yourself this is love, but it's really a craving for the rush that comes with her approval or attention. It keeps you coming back even when you know deep down it's hurting you. This kind of woman doesn't build you up in a healthy way. Instead, she drains your energy, your confidence, and your peace of mind. You invest so much emotional currency, yet the return is always uncertain. She might make you feel special for a moment, but those moments are fleeting and don't add lasting value to your life. The hardest part is realizing that walking away feels almost impossible because you're hooked. not on her, but on how she makes you feel when she's near. You might think leaving means losing something precious, but what you're really losing is a toxic cycle that's been holding you back from true growth and happiness. Understanding this distinction is crucial. Just because something is hard to leave doesn't mean it's worth keeping. The right relationship should bring stability, respect, and consistent value, not emotional exhaustion. Recognizing this frees you to break the addiction, focus on your own worth, and pursue connections that truly enhance your life instead of depleting it. The only true way to break free from the cycle of being controlled or manipulated by this kind of woman is through mastering yourself first. Self-mastery means knowing who you are at your core, your values, your boundaries, your worth, and refusing to let anyone shake that foundation. It's about building confidence that doesn't depend on external validation, especially from someone who may not have your best interests at heart. When you take control of your emotions and your mindset, you stop reacting impulsively to her games. You learn to see through manipulation because you're no longer driven by insecurity or neediness. Instead, you operate from a place of calm strength, making decisions based on respect for yourself rather than fear of losing her. This kind of inner power doesn't come overnight. It requires commitment to personal growth, working on your habits, your goals, your emotional intelligence. It means setting clear standards about how you expect to be treated and having the courage to walk away when those standards aren't met. It means investing in yourself so that your happiness and self-worth aren't tied to any one person's approval or attention. Once you reach this level of self-mastery, you change the entire dynamic. You're no longer a player in her game. You're the one setting the rules. You attract healthier relationships because you radiate confidence and self-respect. People around you notice it and respond accordingly. Ultimately, the most powerful way to deal with this kind of woman is not by trying to change her or win her over, but by becoming a man who doesn't need to be won over. When you master yourself, you create a life where manipulation has no hold. You regain your freedom, your peace, and your power, and from that place, there truly is no going back. Once you know about this woman, you'll start to see her everywhere, in DMs, in bars, maybe even in your past. You'll remember the moments you compromised, the peace you gave up, the version of yourself you almost lost. But now, you're not blind anymore. You don't need her validation. You don't need her attention. You need your power back. And once you reclaim it, there's no going back. Become the man she can't manipulate. And more importantly, become the man you never abandon.